I don't think I have Shimbali. I don't know how to play around Shimbali. It feels so awkward to play any of the heroes I'm used to.
Right. Now some of this will probably be like there's general principles in the game that will over time like you'll learn to apply these over across the maps because I could directly show you like in specific positions where to go, and I'm sure the next time you play Shambali, you're gonna be better in terms of where you want to go to, especially when your Doom slams in or gets an engage off, something like that. But often, especially in this kind of whether it's Genji, Sojourn Freya, like most DPS players at this sort of level, they forget or they don't realize or they don't know when or where to move while the tank goes in or while the fight's happening in the mid fight. And I call this stuff like mid fights. If my epic pen loads, mid fights rotations. A little bit laggy here. But this is probably like the most universal concept that's really important to like get down at this level of play. There's going to be micro that's going to be important here, right? So you're playing into Doom, Lucio, Moira, so you have to make sure that you're playing distance well and making sure that you have at least one dash to dash away in case Doom goes onto you, and Genji as well, not to mention. But most of that should be
Okay.
relatively fine at this kind of level. We'll
Yeah.
see how this pans out. One thing I wanted to, I guess, know before we get into this as well is a little bit more context about you as a player. So, like, how much time do you spend playing the game, basically? Would you say?
I guess I've been playing since like for, I guess 3 years now. But when I started playing, I was originally playing to get on my university's Overwatch roster, which I
Right.
did. And there I mostly play like the traditional flex heroes, like your Genji, your Tracer. And if we're in like a hard dive mirror, I'd play like the Echo.
Right, right. How
Uh,
yeah, how many hours would you say like now do you roughly put into the game?
I guess I play roughly like I want to say 5 days out of the week because I have Tuesdays, Thursdays. I have classes basically
Right,
all day. So but other
right.
than that, I'm basically playing.
Have you got like any specific goal in mind, or do you still play on a team now, for example?
I don't play on a team for now because I transferred schools.
Right, right.
But I guess my main goal would be to like hit masters maybe
Okay.
by next year.
Yeah, okay, that's more than fine, right? So at this kind of level of play, like I often say, 2-ish hours a day. If you want to get to masters within a few months, then 2-ish hours a day will be fine, or something like that, roughly. I Yeah, it's only like really beyond masters or GM after sell players that like you kind of need to play a little bit more, or like if you're playing on a team, double blocks are going to be useful as well. But yeah, your level of play that doesn't really matter too much. The only other thing I want to know as well is how is your play time split across your hero pool, basically? So, how, for example, like how much do you play Freya in relation to Genji, Tracer, etc.?
I guess it depends on map. So I guess this account here is like my alternate account, but
Right.
the thing here is that here I'm just trying to force as much Genji as possible because I stopped playing over the summer since I got a job.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Um.
I basically couldn't. I basically perma played Tracer on for to relax, not like competitively, just like with friends or quick play.
Right.
But I guess if I had to like talk about what where I play them, I'd probably say like 40 Genji, 40 Tracer, maybe like 20 Freya.
All right.
I think that's mostly based off of map pool and
Right.
hero
Yeah.
bands.
I the thing I often tell players at this level of play, and it's something that like you're not a bad case of it because having three characters in your hero pool is more than reasonable. That's like fine to do. Like it's not too many, it's not too little. But like if you look at like leaderboards for example, even with hero bans, there are certain players that will be able to one trick a character to XYZ elo or whatever the case may be, and at this level of play too, an analogy I often use is with instruments. Like for example, like 1 week, you're learning like the violin. My big pen is really laggy. But 1 week you're learning the violin. The next week you're learning like the cello, and the week after you're learning the double bass. And again, you can substitute these with like Overwatch characters. Basically, you might as well have spent those 3 weeks learning one of these instruments, and you would have gotten better at that. So I guess like the map and the hero band thing is kind of like I guess that's reasonable. But for example, in Shambali, like I think it's more than reasonable to play Genji, for example. And you just told me that again, you really wanna play as much Genji as you can. If it's possible, I'd say like try and bump that Genji playtime, or even Freya, whatever character you want to play, like 70 to 80%, and then the rest can be flexible based on like, okay, maybe this character is just completely unplayable, or I need to really win a game, so I need to swap, whatever the case may be. But yeah, of course, I don't really advise OTPing because hero bans and whatnot. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out, and yeah. Not saying any other questions before we get into this, or anything you wanna ask off your mind.
The one thing that comes off my mind is that do I want to play Freya more like an Echo, or the mid fight I want to use my updraft to like find an angle to get some shots in, or
Yeah,
because I have a hard time picking out like the mid fight.
it's
Because here I
actually
think for like
yeah.
2 minutes I'm kind
It's
of just AFK main doing
it's
nothing.
a really good question because when we looked at Freya, when Freya came on first release, the people that were really good at Freya at the top level were people that were either new to or newer to Overwatch. So people that weren't in Overwatch 1, like Chronic, for example, and people that weren't in the quote unquote old hit scan era where Cassidy was played a lot. So like there are flex DPS aspects to Freya, and one of them is how can I maximize my time in the skybox? How can I stay hidden, especially if you're dueling an enemy Freya, or even again a flex DPS for example. And that stuff is like it's a mix of both. Basically, is my answer, right? Where especially in defense, like I'm not gonna. It's not great on this map. It's better on like Renasapi. But like you can like fly over the rooftops or like glide on the rooftops and get really like annoying angles above the enemy team where they can't see you, but you can see them. And stuff like that is really important on Echo 2, where you're dive bombing people from above. So there are like crossovers basically. I think if you ask most players or the most coaches rather, the of course most hit scans will play Freya in their hero pool, and the general like very baseline level is can I time my CDs when my Doom goes in? And at this level of play, especially, and even at high levels of play, because they don't even get it well themselves. Like I've seen teams that their wrist will spin in, and the Freya is like a billion miles back, doing fuck all, and it's like your wrist is going in. You need to pop your updraft and start getting value. So that's really the main thing. Is from my macro perspective, how is your timing with your Doomfist? And again, you in accordance with your CDs, right? Are you peaking the same angle as your Doomfist? Are you timing your pressure with him? And then we can talk about micro, like the cover usage, the trigger discipline with your shots, the dash usage as well, and stuff like that, basically. But yeah, it's a mixture of both, basically. Is short on the answer. But we'll see how it pans out. Okay, sure, fine. I do have overlay off too, so like because obviously you can't see the enemy team here, but you can see your own team. So I'm curious to see just where your Doomfist is gonna be in. But yeah, we'll see here. Okay, sure. Okay. 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 I'm gonna talk about some stuff here, but I'll watch a little bit more before I say anything. Okay. So yeah, this is like important here. I'll put the overlay back on so you can see your Doomfist player. What do you think about the timing of this engage? Or
I think it's good. Or maybe I should wait like a second because my Doom is still rotating.
yeah. Right? Because again, you can of course the only person you can see here is your Doomfist, but you can see that he's planning or he's about to go in right now. So let him go first. And this like timing is a simple idea, but it's really impactful, especially if you play Tracer. Because an analogy I like using to sort of describe this is imagine you're a pickpocketer at a fireworks show, and you're planning when is the best time to pickpocket someone. It's not before the fireworks go off. It's not about the when it's the fuses hit the fireworks and it's exploding currently. It's actually a second or two after the fireworks are in the air because everyone is going to be looking at the fireworks. So then that's when you pickpocket someone. And in that analogy, you are the pickpocketer as the Freya. These guys are your victims basically, and the fireworks are your Doomfist, right? So give that guy, let him engage like a second in, and then after he's in for like half a second or just a second, that's when you swing around the corner. Because obviously on your display right now, who's looking at you?
Yeah, I have the Genji and
And I
the
think that's the
Hanzo.
Hanzo, right? So you could get one shot here, or a body shot plus some good micro from Genji. You will get final snapped. And in high level play, you will die for this kind of thing. And it doesn't look
Okay.
crazy, right? It doesn't look insane, but this kind of stuff is like make or break in high level play, where you're out in open space, you take a body shot, this guy gets some good shurikens, dash combo, you dead. So yeah, a little bit of timing there on your Doomfist itself. Shot there's fine. You can see right now is where I want the updraft. Like, again, you can updraft here, and we dash over to this building, for example, right, if you can, and get shots onto the Moira, onto the, what's his name, Doomfist, right? Maybe onto the Genji here too, if he peeks, whatever the case may be. But the timing here is the really important factor. Is the really primarily what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. And admittedly here, it is like awkward to get a good angle here. But again, I think this is a dominoes thing from your updraft basically. Where like you can see Genji leaving. That's an overlay back off right now. But Genji eventually leaves here. Eventually. He dashes back, I think, right?
Okay.
He leaves
Yeah,
back, right?
I
So
didn't take the angle because I was like, oh, there's a Genji there. I'm just dead if I.
right. Which is where like
Yeah.
that updrafting later again by just timing your engagement later, and then again having micro with your dashes could potentially get you to this angle over here because Genji just leaves it for free. So that could have been quite nice to use here. In fairness, again, map's kind of difficult to play around, so that's fine. Like I'm not expecting you to like flank all the way around here. It's really tough because if you go here, it's a very short sight line. There as well, also a pretty short sight line. So if you're gonna go either side here, I would recommend you time it late. So these, and there's a saying here by my pen. There's a saying by Spilo, which is like a few years ago. I think it was like the more aggressive your angle, the later it needs to be timed. So yeah, like even now, to be honest, like your Doom's currently out. This would be a decent time to start flanking around to the left or flanking around to the right side, and getting in position for your next Doom engage. Bear in mind too, if you've got good micro, if you go around left side here, no one can actually contest you, if you think about it, right? If the Doom stays high ground here, you can updraft it, and let's be real, he's not gonna destroy you when you're in updraft. He needs to slam up to you, plus hit his punch, plus hit his shots, which is not gonna happen, because you can dash out, right? So I wouldn't be too worried against this comp here, because you can outmaneuver a lot of the damage. It's really the Hanzo, it's the scary thing when you're in the air, and getting dash engaged by Genji if you're low HP. Those are the big scary things. Doom should not be a big threat to you at all, really. But now would be a good time to go through left side, take a wider angle, that kind of thing. Because when your cycle's basically
Oh,
over.
okay. So I guess I could always take those types of riskier angles, regardless if the hero I'm on.
Yeah. I mean, it aids the timing, right? Because if you do this, right, if I back up here a little bit, right, no single person, if you flank left side right now, nobody is going to know that you are going to come out here left side. The only way they can know that is by footsteps. And if they try and mark you and you mistime it, whatever the case may be, you just updraft and leave, and you're fine. Again, you can updraft across the roof, like across, you'll be okay. But yeah, like again, just look at if you flank left side here, look at your Doomfist, look at what he's doing, look at when he's engaging, and then again, if he slams high ground, you engage high ground, right? If he slams this side, you can again swing this side here again, updraft, and you'll be more than good. So yeah, that's kind of the thing there. The only thing I say is that if they're doing this as a diva, right, that changes a lot. Because Diva's actually really good at marking you. And she can't get forced out as easily as a Doomfist player. So that's also another really important thing to keep in mind. Is that, again, the reason why I'm suggesting this is because of the comp you're playing against and the timing of the flank itself. That's kind of the
Okay.
two important things I need to get noted down there. But yeah. Okay? Like right now, this entire time, right? Like, this entire time, Doom's currently in. I just saw this guy punch in. Currently in, right? Yeah,
Oh,
he's going in right now. And what are we doing? We are back over
interesting.
here. Yeah, we are not particularly doing much, I will say.
Yeah.
But again, that time, right? That 5, 6, 7 seconds that you could have had while you're just spamming down here, that could have been used to go left side. And when I talk about mid-fight rotations there, that is a mid-fight rotation. You are rotating to a position in mid-fight. That's all it is. Now here again, it's less obvious because you're playing Freya here. But as I've explained, for those two reasons, you can go left side. Um,
Okay.
but yeah. Okay.
Although I feel like whenever I don't think I ever code, but whenever I did do stuff like that, I always felt like I was taking the wrong angle, or maybe I'm just timing it wrong. That's why I probably die a lot
It
when I
potentially,
try
yeah, it
to
could be
make those types
timing
of
it
hero
wrong, right?
plays.
It could be the comp as well.
Yeah,
If they know, like, again, if you're going really, really early before your Doomfist goes in, then you're gonna get pushed down, forced out, or you're gonna die, right? Like that Lucio Doomfist Moira will probably chase you if you engage really, really early, which is why this entire time you need to be looking at your Doomfist, so you know when to engage. And you're making sure that again you're not getting scouted out here, ideally, if possible. So yeah, it's just a timing thing. It's really just a timing thing and a scouting thing as well. But again, if you do it mid fight, Doomfist is not going to spot you. Like I highly doubt he's going to spot you going to the left side here, in some kind of way. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. It's probably a timing thing, right? And it may be a comp thing
yeah,
too. Right? Again, a diva, I would not suggest doing this into a diva. If you're playing against diva here, I would go right side instead and play away from diva. Maybe even go through here, and this is probably your next best rotation to do. Again, updraft over here. This looks quite nice to me as well. This looks quite nice, right? You got good sight lines, you got good cover here to use. You got a little roof you can slide over, right? You can maybe dash into this position here if you can. You've got many rotations here to make, right? Again, you can stay here, go on roof, go right side or back off. Either one's fine. But this will probably be your next best option here. If you had the deep playing left side that you wanted to avoid. Okay, and now, okay, timing's okay. But again, you can see like we are just so. You tell me the problem here.
so late, so late,
Kind of.
and then I have two people
Um,
looking at me.
kind of, right? I mean, why are they
Yeah,
looking at you? You think? If you're this Hanzo right now, why would I shoot the Freya?
right in their face. Hold up, give me 1 second.
No worries, not.
Yeah, I guess that was. Yeah. Um, I guess my dream's blocking, and then he's kind of stalling, but he's not fully. He's physically there, but he's not putting pressure.
Yeah, yeah. So
So I
that's
feel
part of
like,
it, right? It's basically you're on the right lines. It's basically just who's more killable, and because Doom's blocking, doing fuck all, and because he's not that dangerous, because blocking, he's not shooting anyone. You are the next available target, right? You are extremely close to this Hanzo, which is probably why, or not probably, it is why that you are this killable right now. So again, slight rotational thing, right? I think if you're gonna go right side, where can you pop out from,
from high ground, like an echo.
right? So
I'm playing it like I'm playing Tracer. That's the
right,
problem.
exactly, right? Like if you're Tracer, this looks okay to me. Like it looks fairly okay, right? I mean, it's not still amazing because you are still fairly close and there isn't too much cover here to use. But yeah, like you haven't really got another option here if you are Tracer. So yeah, again, it's like that rotation thing, right? It's this small, tiny, seemingly tiny difference between going through here versus going through here. Right? That's literally all it is. And one option is way safer for you, and you do way more, whereas the other option here is a lot more dangerous, but as you can see, it's obviously not going to get as much value, sadly. And honestly, I would not be shocked if you die here as a result, because they're running a fairly fast comp. So we'll see what happens here. Lucky that you're doing punches out there, but then you Zonzu and you die, right? And that's all
Yeah.
positional. All of that was positional. And that's probably if that's like the biggest thing to take away from this VOD, probably it's that example. I think it's like a textbook example of what I mean when I say to players or talk to players about mid-fight rotations. That's probably the best example to show it. Because we can even put the camera here. To be honest, we can pretend that the camera's here. Let's say you went, yeah, like this guy's dead. This guy's cooked. You know, like you just double shot this guy. You dash away. There's absolutely no chance in hell that Genji's killing you. Like this is night and day. That's a night and day difference. Yeah, probably a map thing to be honest, right? Because again, next time you play Shambali and you're playing against a fairly close range comp, probably don't do this. But yeah. And speaking of that, right? When do you think it would be fine to go through here instead of going through here?
Um, it's probably better to go walk through the flank route I took if they're all sitting up on that high ground top right,
Yeah, yeah,
or
right.
if they're
Mm.
I guess on the perch close to the mega, like
Like here
the high
basically.
ground. Yeah, because I have
Yeah,
like two
yeah.
angles I could peek from.
Yeah, right. I think that's fair. I think this one again, if you want to get closer into the action, I think that's still fine. This is still a fine angle to take as well, right? But if they're playing like I guess a more ranged comp or a more static comp, then going and taking the short sight on an angle when no one's staying here is more than reasonable to do. But yeah, a bit unfortunate that. Okay, we'll see it. Okay. We got spawn advantage here, so. Ooh. Okay, this is just micro to be honest. Then why is this a capitology? This is just a handshake about whether we can hit our shots. Yeah, so I always say, right, if they're not looking at you, take your time. I see this all the time with chasers when they're like behind a target and they just whiff the easiest one clip of their life, or they whiff an easy pulse. And even here, right, like Hanzo is not staring at you. You can take a little bit of time with your shots. And one direct hit will kill him. Unfortunate. That you literally just go away with murder, literally. And kills a Doom. That's not ideal. Probably needs to play back here. What should you be playing? Where should you play?
I should be rotating to that main high ground.
Yeah, right? To the left side. What's up left? Because, and you tell me, why go top left here?
They're all sitting main on low ground, and there's distance.
Exactly, right? You just saw Mr. Genji Man and Mr. Hanzo Man down main. Now you can see, the last time you saw Genji is going left side, right? So you might want to be a little bit careful about that. But again, good micro, you'll be okay. You updraft, dash away, you'll be completely fine against a single Genji. So there's no really complaint. There's no complaint there from me. Now here's the thing, right? Because often when I ask that question, okay, where do you start playing now? It's a fairly easy question to answer, but people don't often spot this in the game because what should tell you right now that in this moment in the game you should start going left side? What's the signal that tells you to go left side here?
Looking at the kill feed and looking at the direction of where the shot is coming from.
Right, so
probably two things actually.
It's like it's hard for me to fully describe this, right? So kill feed is one of them. This is an obvious visual cue, right? It's one of the easiest ones in the game. If you see a kill feed, either for you getting a kill or if your team get killed, right? Then that's an opening for you to change your position, obviously. So that's a really easy visual cue. But the more subtle one is skirmishing, and every single character in this game, right? You'll peek, you'll have to do damage, and then eventually you will have to de-peek in some kind of case, right? Whether it's to reload, whether it's to get cooldowns back, whether it's to get healing, whether it's to do whatever basically, right? Or chillax, whatever the case may be here. And here again, it's partially to chillax because your Doom got picked and he's dead, but also here, you're just reloading, right? And we're in that moment when you're de-peeking, right? The enemy team cannot see you. This Genji right now cannot see where you are. This Hanzo cannot see where you are. Hence why you've got that ability to go left side. Because if they can't see where you are, then you're very lethal, or you're very, again, scary coming from this left side angle here. Because no one's going to know that you're coming here barring some footsteps sounds. So it's that visual cue. It's like when you're de-peeking, when you're in that moment to get healing or to reload or whatever the case may be, that's your visual cue to sort of move around. Which is what prompted me to ask you, where do you start moving? Because this should be the time where you start moving right now. It's important you spot that in the game. Like here, you're basically reloading, right? You're having to reload your crossbow with your dashes, right? Like it's that time after you fire that bolt. I would start moving to the left side. I do not want to be saying it. Do not peek that. Do not, on God, do not peek that. Thank you. But now we've kind of missed our window, right? Because we could have been, like, literally, like, look at this guy is doing what you should be doing, right? You could have got into this angle before him, double tapped him, and he's dead. Or he's cooked, you know? Or then you're gonna, if you miss the shots, you fuck up the micro, you updraft, you fly across the building, and you're fine, right? So, like, that's the thing. It's like, if you don't do this, they often will. And they'll catch you out. Okay, I would not play second do this. Yeah, this is just bad micro. You're already Sonicked and you're playing really close to a Doomfist. Like the only way you avoid this is by updrafting, right? So if you're gonna stay here, you're gonna need to commit updraft, which is probably not ideal because you might put yourself in open space. Or you leave. Just leave early. That's it. Nothing crazy. Okay. Let's see here. Alright. Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay. Okay. Again, notice how this. Okay, well, I'm gonna. This often I do this exercise with players where I will draw a box, right? And I will see how long you stay in this box for. And the point of this is to show how static you are. So let's see how long you stay in this box for. 230. Okay. Out of it a little bit. Okay, sure. 238. Okay. 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 So, for basically 30 seconds, you stayed, for the most of the time, you stayed in this box, right? Not once do you think or try and attempt taking an angle here or taking an angle here. Do you think your character's going to do much if you're gonna stay this angle the entire time? Regardless of Freja. No, right? And the thing is, right, there were multiple times that where you could have gone to the left or right side, right? So we can go back to 230 and spot those out. Okay. Yeah, maybe back up here a little bit, actually. Okay. Do you think this is one of them?
Yeah, I could have rotated right side.
I think so too. We just saw you doing this go main. No one knows who you are. Yeah, I think going right side is reasonable. So that's one time. Okay. What about now?
You go left side because
Yeah.
I just forced the doom out.
Potentially, right? Yeah. So you could walk forward here, maybe updraft and dash into here. Could potentially work. Maybe a little bit risky. So I would look here first, see if there's any characters, right? But the point being here is that if they're giving up the space, take it. I want you to push forward here and take that space. But we low-key don't. Gonna get scared by Genji a little bit. What about now?
You keep going left.
Yeah, right. Again,
from the small room.
exactly, right? You're DP king. No one knows who you are. They're all looking at your Doomfist. Come through here. Press play. And now, like, you're here. You'll be around about here, right? And then look at your Doomfist, right? And then now you can keep going in. And now you get this really nice angle. And then you can kill that hand zone, right? So, like, there are, like, how much are we in? 247, right? The 3 occasions we've seen where you could have moved, but you haven't. Now having to get, like, this narrow-ass, carefree-ass angle down this little, like, narrow area to try and find some value. Which, of course, is really tough. Okay. Okay. Now we're just updrafting for the vibes. Low-key. Okay. Now we're playing really far away, you know? Like, we haven't really done much. We hit a few good bolts here or there. But that's basically it. And in 30 seconds, we really need to get a kill during our... especially at this level of play. If you just rotate top left once in that, like, at around that 45 second mark, you get a kill on that hand zone. I'm pretty much 9 times out of 10. Especially considering that you're bowler. But yeah. Not ideal. Okay, hopefully we can walk forward now. Okay, they beat. We can updraft. Okay, we don't updraft. What tells you should updraft here? Or am I saying for you to updraft?
Because they beat, but I was thinking of updrafting after they're already on top of me.
Yeah. Where could you maybe rotate to during your updraft? As like 2 spots.
So I could go backwards to the roof.
That's one of the. You go over here. That's 1. Here's 2. Where's your other spot that you could go to?
Like I was like, it's riskier, but I could go like where I would go if I'm playing Genji, which is on that patio where I go straight ahead to the right.
What, like here?
So on the
Or like
the angle I peek from. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, yeah. So that's another one that you could do as well. We just completely avoid the Genji. You can just like slide and chill over this rooftop, and then you're completely fine. So that could be another option there. Okay. We just never use updraft. We missed the bowler. Fortunate. Okay. Yeah, let me see if the bowler was fine there. Was he in power block? Let's see. If he was, then I think that's fine. Yeah, he was. I think that's fine. That's fine because you stun him in, so you doom punches him out. So that's kind of unlucky. I think that's fine though. Okay.
Yeah, with Bullish, I always look to use it every fight, like a pulse.
use it opportunistically. So that you saw an opportunity there, right? Doom some power block, you can stun him in or you lock him so he can't, again, meter strike, you know, when he's got locked in by Bola. That's fine. I've got no complaints there, right? Again, it's just opportunistic is what it really is. Don't have a set plan around it. If you see an opportunity, go for it, right? Nothing crazy around Bola. Same thing with pulse bombs too. It's really every ult in the game. Every ult in the game is like that, right? Even EMP, you know. Like if you see a solo tracer flanking, or maybe not solo tracer because you can recall it, like a Genji for example. Yeah, you can just come out invis, EMP the Genji, and get a free kill on the Genji, you know. Even though that might not be planned. So if you see an opportunity, yeah, pop the Bola. Nothing crazy. Okay. So you won that fight because their Doom overextended, basically, which is not exactly how you want to be winning fights, I will say. Okay. We'll see here. Right. Okay. Cool. Okay, just getting stack of kills here, basically. And a little bit more patience, but nothing crazy. That shot was fine. Okay. You could have dropped that, so honestly. Yeah, do we just... Hold up. We just... Okay, that's kind of bait, to be honest. That's just micro against Doomfist. I see it with soldiers all the time, but they'll just disrupt the shot Doom really early on and feed and punch. This just micro gets power block. So don't try and feed and punch really early on, especially if you're running a heavy puck combo like a Hanzo Freya right now, because you just gave him punch. It's not ideal, of course. Okay. Sure. Okay. Fine. Up drop is fine. Fine. Sure. I'm like that's fine. You can shoot him like when the power block's about to end, so the explosion hits him after the power block ends. That's fine. Okay. What is he doing? How will you kill him? Oh, okay. Thank God. You are like you need to like be way more patient when you're trying to shoot characters that are not looking at you at all. Because we missed every single bolt, or not bolt, but every single bolt onto the hands of there, which is not ideal, and he almost escaped, which is kind of crazy. Okay. Okay, now where could we move?
I could go top left.
Yes, right. You can see visually.
The same place the Hanzo.
Exactly, right. You just won the space because you killed the Hanzo. Congratulations, you're allowed to take it now. That's your reward. You get the space. So now you can come through here. And to be honest, they're probably going to back up because they're man down. You could have seen that coming.
Free shot right there.
Yeah, like free shot into the Moira there, free kill, right? So yeah, and that's very free the entire time. And again, it's like these windows, right? They're not in the game itself. It's hard to spot these, right? And I think it's easier to spot these when you're watching it back because every single time I've asked you, you know, where do you move to, right? You answer it without hesitation, and you already know what to move to. It's knowing when to do it, right? Because I can ask, because I know when to ask these kind of things. Because visually, right now, you just kill the hand zone. That's your first visual cue. This guy, right? So getting the kill or the kill feed would be your first visual cue. The second visual cue. What would be the second thing that indicates to you right now that you can go top left?
I see a nade. Like it's called their more. I see like their more is needed.
Sure.
And then
are you at danger if you go top left?
No, because we should just kill their Hanzo.
Why else?
Because we have distance.
Right, so what I guess to phrase it a different way, right? I guess you can go top left here because if you're over here, they're really far away from you and they cannot reach you. And you know, right, because you can see on your screen that if these guys are main, by the implication there is that they're not playing here, which sounds obvious, right? But the point of me saying that is that you can take this angle for free with zero risk and extremely high reward, basically. Because of the fact that they're down main. So again, it's the first visual cue is the Hanzo, second one maybe the Moronade, right? And third one is the fact that they're down main. They're really far away from you, and they can't punish you for going top left. So the risk is low. So yeah, big missed opportunity there. And now, you're getting pinned with Blade, right? And I say this all the time, especially in this kind of play. It's a golden rule that I have. Whenever you stand down main, you will take more damage, and you will deal less of it yourself. And I think this fight is probably going to be a good case of it. Where there's a Genji blade onto your honor, there's a Doomfist to your left right now, and we haven't really done much. We could have gotten a Moira kill, but we've missed out on that opportunity. And I don't know what we're gonna do this fight. Maybe we die, maybe we don't. Genji feeds. Okay, could have gone top right there. Right, slight missed opportunity. Like, and that could have been another great rotation there, right? Like a second one that you could have done. And when you're playing Freya, like this is probably, again, this is the biggest thing in this VOD so far. It's like finding or spotting these rotations when you're playing the game, and why you should move to a certain place at a certain time is also a part of it too.
Yeah. I think that I'm just not recognizing that I have these. I could take these without being punished. Since I'm
Right.
because I would have taken like 2 or 3 of those rotations if I'm playing Genji or Tracer.
Right.
I'm just not recognizing them as they're happening.
Right. I think a framework I used to have whenever I say used to, I still use it nowadays. But normally I use this framework whenever I'm coaching ranged or quote unquote poke comps or just poke heroes in general against Divia comps, which is and SPAR, which stands for Scouts, prevents, absorb, and rotates. Honestly, nowadays it's more disrupt instead of prevent, but it's the same kind of idea. And we can remove Scout here for now because it's not that relevant to your character. But essentially, if I draw out this graph, maybe it makes it easier to explain this. This is like time. This is like hour. And their comp's kind of like this. And your comp's kind of like this. Bit of an oversimplification, but it's fine. And this bit is like prevention. So all that really means is how can we prevent their dive comp from diving us to begin with? And in your case, it's primarily taking soft off angles, playing distance, being hard to reach, and poking them out to begin with. Right? Of course, Genji's never going to dive you if you hit a bolt onto him and he's forced to deflect. He's never going to dive you to begin with. This bit here is the absorb stage, which we're just in, just now, right? So the Genji blade there, you have to absorb, right? This is their big spike of power, right? And whenever you're playing Freya, it's really important to, the way you absorb this is A, having a hands check, so can you hit your shots? Can you dash out to the correct position? Are we playing enough distance, right? It's just basic micros is the absorb hit. But also, this links back into this downward slope here, which is the rotates slash going back into prevention again. And it's this big downward slope here, where it's really important to spot, because this is like your cue to start rotating. And I bring this up because that cue could have been this high gun angle here. But oh shit, like Genji's diving me, where do I go to, right? And obviously that if you know that or you're thinking about that mentally, you're more inclined to go over here naturally. Again, I often say to I used to say this to Sojourn players before Freya was released. Whenever Sojourn was playing it up against Tracer Sombra, it was really important that Sojourns would slide the high ground because Sombra Tracer haven't got verticality. And even on Freya, and even though you're playing against comps that this comp has verticality here, it just makes you way more evasive, and your verticality is way better than Sojourn's. But yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Sure. Right, this is fine, right? We're allowed to rotate it because we punched out, so I'm gonna go with this. Sure. Fine. Okay, nice. Okay, fine. This is a fine angle to start off with. You can maybe push up a little bit earlier. Fine too. Okay. Yeah, do this here. Don't try and beat and punch. Yeah, even punch there. Whoa. Scary. And now, like, okay, so like, there's a few things here, right? So first thing, we need to be playing way further back, right? So I don't mind pushing up to get a better angle, right? A, I prefer to do it here because you're further away, and B, you need to dash back immediately, basically, because I don't want you to be too close to get rushed on. Is my main concern. That's kind of the first thing. Second thing, what happened to this bowler? Why bowler this?
Yeah. I was looking for the Lucio. I just messed it up. Yeah, I didn't walk up.
Yeah. So like, I go on.
Or I didn't wait for my dash to finish before dropping the bola.
Right. I often say this to Baptiste, Cass, and yeah, maybe Baptiste players with their ultimates too. where like you want to wait, or not wait, but you want to have positional commitment from the enemy team. So in other words, when you press High Noon and Cassidy, can the enemy team kite very easily? If not, then it's probably a good High Noon. And here, you want some commitment from Lucio, right? Like if he's out in open space feeding his brains out, sure, I don't mind that, right? But he was barely, you were barely, he's barely on the corner by that time. So, of course, not a great bowl of shots. You're in a 5v4 and you just kill Doomfist anyways, like you're fine. Yeah, better fortunes. Okay. Okay, where can we go to from here?
We could go Mega.
Right side,
We'll
yeah?
peek from there.
It'd be a
Yeah,
little...
because it was more covered than main.
Sure. What if you were being a little bit more creative?
We could peek from like the second point where you have the mini, where it's like wall hunting. Yeah, right there.
Exactly, right? So you could just drop here. You can see, I mean, this guy's fucking cooked, I'm not gonna lie. Whoa! But this guy's cooked. If he comes up right. So, again, I'll ask you again, what tells you that you should move here? What should tell you to move? What's the cue?
We just capped. And
Just
I
cap?
just thought their Lucio and their Doom just died.
Right, so again, they can't flush you out, they can't mark you, and more importantly, could anyone see you? Good top right.
No.
No, right? This big ass fucking wall blocks you off. You can see it on your screen. Nobody's here. Nobody can see you. No one's shooting you right now. So if you go top right, I can guarantee you this Hanzo's not going to be aiming this crosshair down this little, down over here, pre-firing you. It's not going to happen. So that's your visual cue. It's the fact that you're unscouted, you've capped point, and nobody's here to come and scout you. Okay. And that's the important bit, because again, in the game, that's important to tell you, to visually tell you or imply to you, hey, we've got these visual cues, now it's time to move. Okay, we'll see here. Alrighty. Okay, what's the issue with this?
It's too close. And I don't have cover.
Too close, no cover, right? Is our Doom doing anything too?
No, he's
No.
just chilling.
He's big chilling, as John Cena would say. He's not doing anything. So not only is this risky, because now if this Hanzo's taking a good angle here, or he's pre-firing, or he's already got his bow drawn out, he's going to shoot you here. So you're putting yourself at more danger. But even if you live this, which honestly you probably will because it's Plat, you're not gonna have your updraft. But when this guy goes in, which is when he wants it, this is gonna cut you later in the fight. Okay. Oh, scary. Right, and now we can actually rotate. I know your hands are died here, right? But now Doom is out. Your Doom is going in. Now we can swing forward. Now we're in that rotate stage, basically. Okay. Okay. If you look, you just missed our bolt there initially. Nothing crazy though. And again, our angle isn't great, right? Like, look at the LOS that we have. Right, the only thing we can see here is we can't see anything. We just can't see anything here, right? We can't get we can't get good shots into the Hanzo or into the Moira here at all. And again, I think partially is the fact that we're not swinging as wide as we could be down this angle here. And then again, our timing's misaligned because of what we did 5 seconds ago. So yeah, our angle and our timing is not great because of what we did earlier. Okay. Okay. Up dropping, that's fine, sure. Okay. Yeah, you basically just missed your window there to push forward. You will die here. Okay. We'll see here. Okay, Genji time. Right. Why do you actually go Genji here? I'm curious.
I realized they have beat. That was like, it's 2 minutes before we run out of time, and I couldn't find a good angle. I had no idea where a good angle would be, so I just swapped Genji.
Right.
But at least I could put more pressure on frontline.
I think it's like whenever I tell players, right, like when you're playing the game and you feel the urge to swap, A, ask yourself why, and B, ask yourself how can I fix that, or what can I do to potentially fix that? Because honestly, I think the big thing there is, hey, I can maybe go through Mega Room, or hey, I can spring out here right side and get a good angle while my Doom does stuff. Either one of those would be okay. Only thing with this angle here, the only issue is that of course you're not doing anything pre-fight, so probably this one's a bit better. But yeah, like I think that's the solution to think about the game, because you're not gonna improve at the game if you constantly swap, because again, it's a band-aid solution to swap all the. So yeah. Again, no, there's not like any crazy issue with going Genji. But yeah. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll see here. Okay. Sure. Come up's fine. Sure. Okay. There we go, good rotation. I was just gonna say. A little bit other because the beat, so yeah, the beat does things, but force caught. It's fine. Oh, yeah, we just
And I messed up the dash, yeah.
Okay, you can't
Yeah, I
see
wanted
more.
to get
You
out.
can't see more here, I don't think, because it's on the enemy team. But yeah, you just forget that like this orb is coming from left to right, like above you. So she's behind you, right? And you can see this as well. So I don't quite know how you kind of like miss him over here. Which is not great. You just mess up
I
again
think
the hand
also.
check.
Should I be dashing from that to the place where I should be peeking from, or should I be dashing back?
I mean two things, right? So like other one's fine. Like again, you can just dash back like over here. I think also when you see Moira, like you should know that she's gonna come back to you. Or again, you can go over here, and that's fine as well. Just have a planned escape path, nothing crazy. We just planet the outside. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Moira dies early, not great. Your team's just getting mega staggered here. Okay, miss dash. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Don't need to dash out there, still need a Moira. Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. Sure. I don't hate this rotation. My main thing is like I want to connect into that Hanzo. Right? I want to find a way to try and get onto him because he's by far the switch.
Is that second? Is that second angle better? I'm thinking it's better in this case.
With this angle here.
No, the other one we were talking about.
Yeah, it's
where I
like,
wall climb.
Right, because what tells you that going right side is better?
I see him going to the mega.
Yeah, right. It's the Hanzo, right? Like the fact that we go right side, we get closer to the Hanzo, so we can actually get a good dive cycle off onto him. Whereas going left side here, we're creating more distance, and we're putting ourselves in a position that's better for their Hanzo. Like their Hanzo wants to keep this distance. We don't, obviously, right? So like this isn't a great angle for that. Okay. 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 Shout line. Okay. Okay. I'm proud of my good. Alright. Okay. Okay, I see this all the time. Like, I see this all the time. What else could you be doing here instead of shooting movement?
Yeah. Could be rotating. But yes, I'm not. This point's kind of weird because I don't know where I could rotate and still be just have some cover
Right,
and have a close distance.
It's not necessarily just rotating here, right? It's more so what you're looking at, because this Doomfist, does he care if you do damage to him, really?
No.
No, he doesn't really care. Is your character great at peeling too?
No.
No, not really. If you're playing Cassidy here, I think it's fine. You can flash Doomfist a little bit, maybe, stop him from getting out. I think that's fairly okay. But like here is when I'd be turning around and at least looking at the backline, right? What could you be doing if there's a Hanzo Lucio swinging here?
I would probably wall climb up and then try to go for a quick cycle.
Sure, right? So we either the big picture, right? We could either zone their backline to prevent their Hanzo from getting follow up, or we can dash in and try and get a kill, right? I think again, I would normally just try to zone this. As you as a character are really good at holding space, you're the best DPS that can do that because of your deflect. So have some good wall climb micro, zone this as much as you can, play cart, play cover, and zone their backline so they can't walk up. So their dooms get split basically. Is what I'd at least be looking to do here. Now in this case, because Doomfist is going in alone, and their backline's really, really far away, this guy's in fucking Narnia right now, sure, you can turn around and go for Doomfist. But I always say this to players, right? Give yourself the choice. Give yourself the option to turn around and flush out these characters, right? Because I need to know what's going on here. I need to know who's shooting your team while Doom goes in. And you should know that when Doom goes in, or this guy goes in, their backline's going to walk forward. and you could potentially get a kill or zone a target off of that. Doom does not care about you at all. Like, he does not give a toss. And now we'll just look how much space we just gave the Moira and the Lucia, you know? Like, we could at least zone cart here, play cart well, use the mini, like right over here, maybe dash back to their angle, right? Like, we can keep the space here and make it ugly for these guys to walk forward. Kind of the point. Instead of again trying to force out a Doomfist. But if you're gonna do this, play Cassidy. So yeah. Okay. Fine, sure. Okay. Oh, I do not like that dash. Like, our micro here is kind of quick. Dashing that's fine, to get dash back in time. Deflect there is okay. I would hold it personally, so you get more, so you're able to get into cover a little bit more here. This dash is suicide, I'm not gonna lie. Why is this dash not great?
I don't have any cover.
No cover, no deflect, right? This guy, if he hits a good shot, you're cooked. You have to run on movement here. Yeah, and you are immediately. Big surprise. So again, the deflect there is okay. I don't hate it. Either you deflect this like normal, and then you just hold it, right? And then you walk up the Hanzo, and then you just shuriken him, dash him and kill him, or you dash straight into him afterwards, and then deflect out. No, that's nothing crazy. You could dash like literally through him, and then shoot him some shurikens, and then deflect him, and then get the kill. But yeah, this into a Hanzo is not great. Often when I coach Genji micro, it's like, again, dash and deflect your obvious cycle. The only time it changes is into Echo, because she can beam through your deflect. And even tier 3 players I see all the time, like, they will still dash into Echoes for no reason and die for no reason. So then in that case, pathing becomes way more important about how can I path in a way that lets me reach their Echo or reach their backline without making me having to use dash. But yeah, in that case, you could just go straight to the hands over. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Sure. A little bit. Okay, got blade now. We'll cap this. Hopefully. Hopefully. Sure. Maybe not anymore. Unlucky. You're gonna lose. You're down 3 people or whatever. Okay, we'll see here, defense. Okay. Okay. Angle's okay. My only concern, what's the only slight, I'm being nitpicky here, right? But what's the only issue with this angle starting off it?
I can't see much of anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Other
Right?
than the right side.
Exactly. You can barely see anything, right? Like, you can't get any good poke damage. You know, this is a good position to be. If these guys are swinging this corner, like they're coming around the corner right now, you could be right here. Yeah, this is a good angle. I like it, right? But from the beginning of the fight, no. I want to be here, poking out. I want to be over here, scouting. I'm poking out the Doomfist right now. And that's the key things I want to be doing. Here again, you can't do that because you just can't see anything. Okay, and Doom slams you. Why? Because you can't see him. Or couldn't have seen him before. You can just dash out there. You don't need to deflect that. Just dash out. Okay. Force Doom out. Sure. Okay, this angle's a bit better. I don't mind this. Okay. So we low-key need to be looking at Hanzo, not the Genji. Like, we can hear the Genji. We can hear the Hanzo. We can see the Genji here, right? He's not a big threat to us. It's not our key target, right? Our key target is the Hanzo. So, like, if you're gonna rotate here, and you can see that you just saw the Hanzo at the bottom right, you know? That should be the key target you're looking at, not the Genji. Like, look at the Hanzo here, right? If he's looking at you, then sure, you can de-peek it, play slow, play whatever, right? That's fine. But yeah, you're just not aware of the Hanzo at all. And you get jumped. But it's crazy, because you should not be losing a duel against the Hanzo. And you get stopped by Moira, no escape there, and then you're cooked, right? So there's 2 things here, right? Awareness on Hanzo, and your escape on Genji. Because you don't know what to dash to when you drop down. You've got no idea what to dash. Of course, when I ask you, where should you dash to?
I should just dash in the building.
Yeah, I dash back in the building, or dash through here, I get the mini. Like, this is probably less good, because you can get chased. But yeah, dash to high ground, be okay. Okay. That's just a mindset thing. You're not thinking about Arno or Hanzo at all. And again, when their Genji Doom's going in, I need you zoning the backline, right? I need Arno, I need Hanzo, maybe Moira. I need those characters to be looking at you, not your backline. But yeah. Okay, we'll see here. Okay.
Are you senseless?
Okay. Sure. Water dash. Okay. Sure. Rotation is good. Fine. Focus okay. Not bad. Only the bad thing there is the timing slightly off, right? What's the only...
Yeah, I should have waited a second or two.
Yeah, because
Maybe if
you're
I peek
doing...
from the if I use wall climb to peek, I could probably maybe increase my uptime a bit.
Yeah,
Like
right,
maybe I could
so...
get 2 or 3 shots up there.
Right, so there's probably a little bit of walk climb micro, right? You can walk climb up here, and then buy this for a little bit more time, and then dash through and do the exact same cycle. So I like the angle here is great, obviously. You've got a clear escape path as well. You've got, again, I've got no real complaints about that, it's just the timing. It's a little bit early. Just look at your Doom List before you do this. But so far, this is actually the best cycle you've done, so pretty good. Nice shot on the Hanzo there. Not bad. Okay. Okay. It's really unfortunate, because if your Hanzo went in there at the same time as you, that Hanzo dies. Or rather, your Doom goes in at the same time as you. Okay. Okay. You can look a dash out and deflect. Sure. Some more trades. Okay. My only thing here is, like, you don't need to leave here immediately. Like, this is fine. Like, we can dodge and duke around the cover, right? Like, their team's got limited mobility. We can duke around this cover for a period of time, keep these guys chasing us, and again, our rest of our entire team can 3v2 the Genji and the Doomers at the same time. So, again, against the mobile characters, you can play, like, these aggressive but safe angles. Because they can't chase you, right? So, again, you can either deflect that by this rock, and then... a Big Ben! You can deflect around this rock, basically, and, like, do ring around the Rosie. Or, again, you can do ring around the Rosie here. And that's perfectly reasonable to do. Because honestly, I'm shocked that Hanzo does not shoot you, or the Moira doesn't beam you here at all. And your micro's very clunky here as a result. Yeah. Okay. You can go back in. Good. Fine. Touch call there. Put the touch. Cool. Okay, fine. Dash up to high ground.
Yeah.
This needs to be instinctual, you know? Like, it needs to be instinctual when you get low HP here. Like, oh, I immediately know here, immediately. And again, that will come with time, right? When the more practice you have about where you want to move to, when you're thinking about your escape paths, it's gonna come with time. But yeah, been unfortunate. Here should low-key be dead. Well, with 14 HP, yeah. That's really unfortunate. It's just an escape path thing. Ah, okay. See here. Okay. Okay. Right. Sure. Okay. Okay. Angle is good. Fine. Maybe you can deepen an angle bottom left. DC honor. Good. Fine. Okay. Sure. Teamfight's already won there, basically. And the only bit of micro there is to fire your normal shurikens at the Moira, not the fans, because it's too far away.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. Angle that was good. And... stop the Doom Punch. Cool. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, so in high level play, I'm not gonna crab at this too much, but in high level play, like, this playing is actually not terrible, because you can force an ultimate on this corner, for example, like a coalescence, and then dash back out, and then punch back out. It's called baiting. I'm not. So you can play here essentially, is what I'm saying, to force an ultimate, but don't commit here, obviously. Okay. Cool. Oh, as your team goes in the second you go out. That's.
Yo.
He's stuck in meeting there, so that's fine. Nice. And that's kind of the thing there, right? You put pressure on the Genji, forces the Nano Blade to come out. Probably not gonna win that. Kidding's fine. Cool. Deflect. And maybe that's fine as well. And did she have... hang on. How did she use her cooldown? See if came out. Okay, fair enough. I mean, you don't need to deflect that, then that's fine. Sure. I think that's reasonable. Okay. Sure. Fine. Sure. Okay, walk them up, fine. Okay. Okay. So again, where should we be rotating?
The same place I rotated, or I could go right side.
Yeah, right over here, you know? And again, hopefully we don't miss this opportunity. But we might. I go for that person here. I do this. Shoot, doing this like I do with Loki feeds. Okay. Now we're doing it, nice. I did in 2, angle's good. Sure. Let me see the micro because it's not looking. Timing is fine. Yeah, we should. This is top priority. Like, we should not be shooting Genji here. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that Moira literally got
The
punched by the
Moira,
Doom,
yeah.
and like right in front of you, you know. And even if Moira wasn't there, I'd still be looking for Ana because she's way more killable and easier to kill than a Genji, of course. So like, ignore that Genji. He's baits. Look at our range. We still got the kill anyways. Yeah, Ana could have been killed there. Or the Moira. You could have killed the Moira and then chained that onto the Ana. Angle that's good though. I wasn't expecting you to take that. It's good. Okay, fine. All right. We'll do a little summary here at the end, and I'll answer any questions you have as well that you may have. I think we know the key things to work on. First thing has to be mid fights rotations, especially on Freya. Rotation. And again, Freya, we saw many times, like many occasions. First point, that example and first point to the right side was probably the best example, I'd say, because that literally just saves your life. And then on Genji, I would also say like third point onto the Hanzo where we can close distance. Third point Hanzo is also really important too. And again, there'll be a bunch of visual cues that tell you when to do it. Visual cues. So again, you'll not often be unscouted. Scouted, and again, it'll often be in the middle of a fight. But yeah, I think you should still do this anyways. Like, you'll be able to do this because you did it on Genji a lot more. So it's just, you can transfer that skill onto Freya. Second thing,
I think.
yeah, go on.
Okay. I guess my understanding of mid-fight rotations is pretty good on Genji Tracer. That's why I think on my main account. I think during placements, I think I hit Diamond 5 because of those. But I think maybe I'm not getting there fast enough, even in the VOD, because I feel like I waited like maybe
A little
3,
bit too
4
long,
seconds.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why I felt the need to get back on the all-in grind.
Yeah.
Because I'm like getting there fast enough.
Exactly. Which makes sense because it links into like a dominoes thing. Like if you don't take the angle to begin with, then you can never take it, and then again which ended up in that big ass fight for 30 seconds. Where you stood down me the entire time, even though there were 3 occasions or 4 occasions when you could have flanked around the entire time. Second thing I'd say is I'd probably say CD micro. So like again the Genji vs Hanzo like duel. Hanzo duel earlier on. Having an escape, huge. Like having an actual escape path in plan, normally to high grounds or to hard to reach positions for the enemy team. Next idea, or the next thing here with Freya, little bit of like I guess patience with everything that you do. You're rushing out your bullets a little bit. You're rushing out your bolts a little bit, especially when people aren't looking at you. Just patience in your kit overall, and then again timing with updrafts. But that's gonna link back into the first point basically. The updraft timing. Will link back into the first point. Okay. That's not. Anyways. Third thing. Let me think. Let me think. Your blades were okay. CD Mecca was fine. His positioning was that. Timing was on the whole okay. I think I'll say this. I'll say like keep in mind of the enemy comp, or like keep in mind your playstyle / job against the enemy comp. So like that links into like this whole spar thing I mentioned earlier, as well as your ability to zone on Genji and not look at the Doomfist all the time. Because again, you want to reach or mark the Hanzo and the Ana too while your Doom's going in and shooting your team, of course. That's an important
Yeah,
aspect to keep in mind.
I have to keep that in mind.
And that's pretty much it. Any questions, queries, things like that?
Um, I think I don't have anything, to be honest. It's just I have to grind more for it to get more used to using the abilities more offensively rather than defensively.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I think you'll definitely climb with Freya, considering you can transfer the skills over time from Genji, Tracer. But yeah, cool. All right, I'll stop the board here.